So, tell me about making tables of values. Do you like it? Do you find it easy?
It's pretty fun. All right.
Okay. Because I have an actual easier way to teach you how to graph than making tables of values every single time. So that's what I want to go over today. So first off, let's talk about, we've gotten this title, quick graphs using slope intercept form. Does anyone know what slope intercept form is that I could write down real quick? What is slope intercept form? What is that phrase? Like if it were a vocab word, what would you put? Slope intercept form.
The slope and the y-intercept together?
Well, the slope and the y-intercept are together in slope intercept form. Yes. Can you please put this somewhere prominent on your paper? Y equals mx plus b. Okay, let's identify each part. What did we say that the m was? The slope. Okay, what is my b? The y-intercept. What does the word y-intercept mean? Like, what is that? I'm going to put intersecting the y-axis. And it's usually 0, comma, and then a number, yeah? That is true. It is that. Okay? So now, we've got the basics down. Let's go into the journal. And, that first question is pretty much you can answer on your own. We just talked about the y-intercept. What would the x-intercept be?
The x-axis?
No, not the x-axis. The x-intercept would be what? We've talked about y-intercept. Let's define that again. That will help us. What is the y-intercept again? I just wrote it down. We just said it. No, the slope is not the y-intercept, guys. What does it mean, the y-intercept? Okay. Where the line intersects the y-axis. So I'm going to make a little, you don't have to draw this graph. Oh, you can't see it. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a red line, and I want you to tell me where it intersects the x-axis and where it intersects the y-axis. There's my red line. Here, let's make your life easier. Where does my red line intersect the x-axis? What number? Right there. -1. So what's the ordered pair of that, by the way?
-1, 0.
-1, comma 0. That would be the ordered pair of the x-intercept. Where it intersects the x-axis. X-intercept. Okay? Now, let's scroll and focus on where is my y-intercept in this graph? 0, 2. Y-intercept, x-intercept. Does that make sense to everybody? On the x-axis, where does it hit? I know it's not perfect, but I did my best. -1. X-intercept. What about the y? It hits at 2. The reason that the -1 comes first is because this is the x. -1, x. The y I didn't move up or down. Over here, xy, the y has the 2 next to it. Because on the y-axis it hits at 2. The x has nothing because I didn't go left or right. We clear? X-intercept, y-intercept.
Yes.
Okay, because that's a big deal, knowing the difference between the two. Okay. So, Now tell me, please, what is the x-intercept? Let's define that. Where the line intersects the x-axis. Okay. Number 2, how do they make graphing a line faster? Like, let's say that I knew the x-intercept and the y-intercept. How to dot here and how to dot here. Would that be faster than making a table of values?
Yes.
Yes. So, you will say, how do they make graphing a line easier than using a table of values? You just plot 2 points, right? The x point and the y point. And then you draw a line, that's easy. Way better than a table of values. And you know what, you guys? I just wrote that red line, but I never even told you what the equation of that red line was. I just told you the intercepts, with a P, intercepts. Number 3, in the equation y equals mx plus b, which letter represents the y-intercept? The b. And also b is where I'm going to begin graphing. So the b means something to me. B means begin. And I'm going to say it a lot, and I'm going to be really like obvious and silly about it. Begin, right? So now what we're going to go do is we're going to just practice what I just asked you to identify. What's the m and what's the b? What's the slope and what's the y-intercept? So on number 1a, which number is the slope? 3 or 2?
3.
And I could also say 3 over 1, because you know how it's rise over run? Okay, what's my y-intercept? What's my b?
2.
2. That's where I begin. It's going to be at 0, 2. Write these down. And this should be so easy, you're able to go ahead of me. 1b. Ooh, it's in reverse order. First of all, let's write it in the right order. I don't like the way it looks right like that. What's the proper order? Because -2 right after the equal sign? What goes right after the equal sign? Y equals 1/2 x minus 2. Please write it correctly first. Then I can identify my slope. What's my rise over run? What's my m? 1/2. Rise over run. Rise 1, run 2. What's my b? What's my y-intercept? -2. Okay, write down the ordered pair underneath of what it would look like. What'd you write down for your ordered pair? New people, not the same people. What? 0, -2. Perfect. C. Something's missing. I have an mx, but there's nothing there for b. Not +1. +0. Nothing is there, so +0. Okay. What's my m? What's my slope of c? Rise 3, run 4. And what's my b? 0. Does it seem easy so far? You're just looking at the graph and you're telling me what's what. And if it's written in the wrong order, like D is, you got to fix it. D. What's the proper order that needs to go in? Negative 1x plus 4. I like how you put the 1 there, because that just reminds us, oh yeah, that's a 1. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Okay, what's my m? What's my slope?
-1.
Negative 1 or negative 1 over 1. If I wanted to write it as a fraction, remember, rise over run. What's my b? What's my b again? Positive 4 or negative 4?
Positive.
Positive.
Okay, and what's my ordered pair for that y-intercept? What's my ordered pair? Were you saying it, Ashley? Did you? No? Do you want to?
It's
0,
0.
4. Thank you. Okay, E. It's okay that it's written like that because it's still mx plus b equals y. That still is what I want. Okay, what's my m for E?
Oh wait, 1/4.
1 over 4. Okay. Rise 1, run 4. What's my B?
-5.
What's the ordered pair for my y-intercept?
0,
Okay, I know you're. Thank you. 0, -5. And last one is F. What's my slope for F? 1 or 1 over 1. The reason that I keep making them into fractions is because I need you to remember that it's rise over run. Rise over run. And we're going to do that today. Rise over run. And my B, where do I begin? What's my y-intercept?
1/8.
Something different, not just 1/8. -1/8. What's my ordered pair?
8.
Same pattern as all the other B's. What's my ordered pair? 0 and -1/8. Cool. So now we've done 6 problems where we have to identify what's the slope and what's the y-intercept. Now we're going to practice graphing. Okay? In the margin, can you write the following? Step 1. Begin with your B, which is also your y-intercept, right? So you're going to make the point on the graph. Or graph, let me just say graph that point. Let's do step 1 on number 1. Okay. What's my M for A and what's my B for A? One here. Here. Yes.
M is 1 1/2,
M is 1/2.
and then B is 2.
B is 2. Okay. So step 1. Begin with your B, your y-intercept. Graph that point. What's the point that the B is? 2. 0, 2, right? So on your graph, go to 2. It's your y-intercept. It's on the y-axis. It will always be on the y-axis because it's my y-intercept. It's where my y intersects the, it's where my line intersects. So now, step 2, over in the margin. Rise and run your slope. which is your m. Okay, so we begin at our y-intercept. It's 2. Now I need to rise and run. How many should I rise and how many should I run for A? How many should I rise and how many should I run for A?
I finished it.
So I need help.
I should rise.
Rise 1. So I'm going to start at my red dot, my y-intercept, my 2. And I'm going to go up 1, and then how many should I run?
2.
Positive 2. So that's going to be right or left?
Right.
Right.
Okay, I'm not going to make my dot until I'm done running. You do not make a dot when you rise. You only make the dot after you're done running. Go up 1 and over 2. So your dot, up 1 over 2. Okay? Let's do it again. Remember how I want 4 points? So from this red dot, rise 1, run 2 to the right, and make your dot. Now I'm going to run out of room. So I need to learn how to reverse my dots. Don't these need to be in a straight line? So if I were to go back to the begin, how would I make a dot over here?
Wait, how did you make that last one?
I went up 1, rise 1, run 2.
So you're gonna do that for all?
You're going to do it again and again and again and again. Rise and run, rise and run. Make more dots and more dots.
The opposite on the opposite side?
Do the opposite on the opposite side. It has to be in the line. So instead of going up 1 and right 2, I'm going to go down 1 and left 2. Right there. Everybody make that dot showing how you reverse it. Down 1 and left 2. Remember I have rulers. They're all over there. You can use them any time. So I connect the dots, la 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 la. Okay? You have made a straight line. The things that you need to remember are how you rise and run. I was lucky. It was a positive 1 over a positive 2. But if it's like a negative, then I need to go rise down, for example. So let's practice 2B. What's following step 1 and step 2? Where do I begin? What's my slope? What's my m? Can you guys make it as a rise over run for me? Negative 3 over 1. Always make it a fraction because you need to rise and run. What's my b? What's my b again? 4. What's that ordered pair? 0, 4, right? Okay. So begin 0, 4. On your y-axis, go up 4 spaces. Make a dot. Make a dot. Okay. From here, I'm going to rise negative 3 and run positive 1.
So if you're rising negative,
From rising negative,
left, go down.
down. Rising means either you're going up or down. Rise or fall, right? So if I'm going to rise negative, I'm going down. You're always going to run positive because the negative sign always goes with the numerator. So the negative sign will always be with the numerator. Rise down 3 and positive 1 to the right. Down 3 and 1 to the right. 1, 2, 3. 1 to the right. See how your dot's there? Do it one more time. From the dot you just finished, down 3. Run 1. Rise negative 3. Down 3, run positive 1. Hey, this line goes downhill. It goes downhill because it has a negative slope. Remember how I did, gosh, this was last week, and I gave you 4 graphs, and I said, which one's positive, which one's negative, which one's...
0.
That's this. Number A, was that a positive or a negative line? 2A, positive or negative? 2A. Did it go uphill or downhill, guys?
Down.
No, 2A. It went uphill. Now, that was 2A. 2B, is it going uphill or downhill? Downhill, because it has a negative slope. See this right here? This negative slope? -3 means it's going to be a downhill. The slope tells you everything. Positive slope, I'm running up a hill. Negative slope, running down a hill. Let's practice some of the classwork together. Turn it over. You guys will have weekend homework. Let's get this done as best you can. M and B, that's what you need to do for each one. My M. Gosh. My B. Number 1, what is my M? 2/3. What is my begin? 1. So I'm going to begin at 1. That's, 0, 1. Right here, guys. Make a dot. 1. Now, rise 2, run 3. From that dot you just made, rise up 2 and then run 3. Make your next dot. Up 2, right 3. Up 2, right 3. Make a dot. Oh, I'm going to run out of room. Shoot, what do I do?
You go backwards.
Go backwards. So go back to the beginning. Here.
You have to go backwards?
Yeah, because your line can't be super short. Go down 2 and left 3. They have to line up in a straight line. Backwards means down 2 and left 3. And it'll be obvious to you guys as you're making your lines. Is it a straight line? Yes or no? And if it's not a straight line, that means that maybe you counted a little bit wrong. Connect the dots, la la la. Number 2, let's do it. What's my M and what's my B for number 2? One half, and my B is -3. Begin at -3.
Is this our homework for the weekend?
I have to give you graph paper. Begin at -3. Because it's -3, right? -3. Now, from that -3, rise up 1, run 2. Rise up 1, run 2. Rise 1, run 2. Reverse it, feel free to. Down 1, left 2. As long as it's in a straight line. Remember how I wanted 4 ordered pairs? Let's do 4 dots. Same thing. Is yours a straight line?
Yeah.
If you got a straight line, you did great. Number 3, watch out for this negative. Remember how I told you negative goes with the numerator? My M is going to be -3 over +4. I'm going to rise -3 and run 4. My begin is going to be two. So let's do it. Begin at 2. Now, careful. Rise -3. The negative sign goes with the numerator. Negative numerator. Down 3. Straight down. 1, 2, 3, and then 4 to the right. 2, 4. Oh, I ran out of room. This is another reason why you're like, do you have to go reverse?
Yeah.
This, I have to go reverse. Because 2 dots is not nearly enough. I'm going to reverse it by going up 3 and left 4. See how it makes a straight line?
From the first point?
From the initial point, your beginning. Your beginning is always your focus. Connect the dots, la la la. All All the rest of them, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, are in perfect form. Y equals mx plus b. So do those now. And I'll walk around and help.